Hey guys, it's Justine, and if you haven't heard, Apple has announced a new version of macOS called macOS Sonoma. It's coming to an Apple computer near you this fall, but the public beta recently went live, so here we are, we're gonna check it out right now. Now there's a lot of new stuff. Safari has new browsing and privacy features, Messages has some good upgrades, and there's some crazy new screensavers. There's a high performance mode for screen sharing, as well as better experiences for notes and PDFs. But what's probably most exciting are the new features for widgets, video conferencing, and gaming. We're gonna go over all of that stuff in this video, so be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you like breadsticks, because all I can think about is the Olive Garden, and that's where I think I'm gonna be ordering food from right now. Anyway, moving on. First, let's check out these new screensavers, because these are just so cool. First of all, the login screen has been redesigned with the date and display up on top. So it kind of feels like your iPhone lock screen now. So you can see that they've moved the login experience down to the bottom of the screen, and this clears the frame to feature whatever screensaver or wallpaper that you have. So these are the new screensavers. They're actually slow motion videos of imagery from different places around the world. And then when you log in, the video just seamlessly settles into the desktop wallpaper. It's pretty cool. I think I might stick with this Hawaii one. Now, Safari has now introduced profiles, so you can separate your browsing into different topics. You could have one profile for work, one for browsing, or one for gaming, or even one for planning a trip. Now, I really like this because your profiles will have separate history, cookies, extensions, and favorites, and everything will go across all of your devices. So you'll see I have my two different profiles that I have here. So I've got my home and my work. So right now, when you are viewing Safari, you can tell where you're at in your profile. So right here we have work, and you can designate different colors so you'll easily be able to tell which profile you're in. This is pretty cool. Now in Sonoma, you can also use Safari to make web apps. So with this, you can add your favorite websites right into the dock, and when you launch one, it's more of an app-like experience with a simplified toolbar. I'm a big fan of this feature. Now Messages we covered a little bit in my iOS 17 video, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure to go check it out after this one. But we're gonna take a look at Messages here because I actually really use Messages on my Mac a lot. So now what's really cool is all of the live stickers that you make on your iPhone or your iPad, you can use here on the Mac. So this gives you the same little pop-up feature, so if I click into stickers, you'll see the ones that I made, and here we are. We're gonna send that to my sister Jenna. I think she'll enjoy it. What's this one? There we go. We sent her 2 stickers. Love to see it. Now another new Messages feature that I really like is catch up. So now you can easily jump to the top of your unread messages in group chats. Now new in screen sharing, there's a new high performance mode that uses the Media Engine and Apple Silicon to make remote access super responsive with low latency audio and high frame rates. This is a professional level workflow. So if you're a creator or a video editor, you can now access your content from anywhere. And you could even use Final Cut Pro or Resolve to edit remotely with ultra high definition. And this will give you a seamless workflow from wherever you are. This of course will require a pretty fast internet connection, and I'm pretty excited because I do have 2 gig up, 2 gig down, so this could be my future. Like, I definitely could see making a whole video about this and incorporating some of this into my remote workflows. Now in Notes and PDF, there is a new experience for reading PDFs right inside of Notes. You can just flip through the pages, and you can preview multiple PDFs inside the same notes. And then when you're ready, you can continue working on your note in Pages just by going into the Share menu. All right, so now on to the features that we all want to know about. You can now interact with widgets in macOS Sonoma and also place them right on the desktop. You can even use widgets from your iPhone on your Mac and vice versa. You can actually interact with these widgets, and they have the same larger widget design that we have seen with the iPad OS. I mean, this looks so slick. Now when you want to add a new widget, you just go into the newly redesigned library and you can browse through your available widgets. It's so nice. These widgets will automatically adapt to your desktop. The tint will change based off your background wallpaper, and when you see them next to the files, the system will automatically shift stuff around and make room on your desktop. So files and stacks wrap around the widgets, adapting to your available space. Another thing that I'm very excited about in the new macOS are the upgrades in video conferencing. Unfortunately, I mean, it's just a part of life at this point. I do quite a few of conference calls every week, so these updates are pretty exciting. There's now some system-wide improvements to make video calls more functional and engaging. So now when you're sharing your screen, you can choose the new presenter overlay effect, and this will superimpose you over whatever content you're showing. This is great because if you're on a big call and someone is presenting, you might not always know who is speaking if you can't see them. So this lets you see the content and the person at the same time. There's also now some animated reactions for video calls as well. So without interrupting, you can send a heart or a thumbs up just by doing some hand gestures. Now I like this because a lot of time on Twitter Spaces, I love to feel like I'm interacting and giving kind of like a little heart or a little shout out here, and it's represented by a digital graphic. So the fact that you can now kind of do this on video calls, I'm so excited. I do feel like these have taken it to a whole nother level because it basically is a whole animated screen, but I love it. And now the moment that you've all been waiting for, or maybe I'm the only one that's waiting for it because I just want to play video games on my Mac. macOS Sonoma now has a dedicated game mode that will optimize your Mac for high performance gaming experience. So this basically gives games the highest priority on the CPU and GPU and gives less bandwidth to your background tasks, enabling smooth, consistent frame rates. They've also drastically lowered the latency when gaming with AirPods, which I'm pretty excited about, and they lowered the input latency for game controllers by doubling the Bluetooth sampling rate. So if you've ever played any video games before on wireless devices like a controller or Bluetooth headsets, the more noticeable that lag is, the less immersive your gaming experience is. Now this will work with any game, and they're adding a bunch of new and upcoming ones as well. So that, my friends, is some of the top features in macOS Sonoma. I'm definitely excited to try this out. I know when most of these OSs come out, I do tend to wait a few months because I want to make sure that all of my editing plugins are updated, and if I'm editing and I don't have them and they're not updated, I usually do wait a little while, but man, it's been so fun testing this out and I can't wait to actually use it.